It's all your hey, the people are very welcoming. Ironically, at the same time, they are not. Is someone going to get engaged with this? Till now, I'm just still trying to wrap my head around it. You don't do that. That's not how we do in this Lagos. Hi guys, hey loves, welcome back to my channel. My name is Goodness Andrew, and if you're just seeing my face for the first time, thank you so much for clicking on this video. If you're a returning subscriber, my OGs in the house, thank you so much for clicking on another video. So yes, in today's video guys, I'm going to be talking about my experience living in the eastern part of Nigeria. So for those that don't already know, yes, I am Igbo. So I'm Igbo. I'm from Abia State, Nigeria, and I spent most of my childhood years in the western part of Nigeria. So I did my primary and some part of my secondary education in Lagos State, and then my family relocated to Port Harcourt, Rivers State, which is like the south region of the country. So I haven't really spent so much time in the east, or I hadn't really spent so much time in the east until I moved down to Enugu State, Nigeria because of school. So my school has two campuses, but then my campus is located in Nsukka. So I literally moved from what I like to call civilization to like the village. I'm one of those people you will call, they told me I'm from Abia State, or they told me I am Igbo. I've never visited my village except when I was a child. I have, however, visited Umuahia. I have visited Abia State, but I've never visited my village. I go to my mom's village, but then I think it was just once or twice throughout my childhood, so I won't really say I got the eastern experience in my childhood. In today's video, I'm going to be telling you my experience living in the eastern part of Nigeria. So I think this video is going to be in two bits. I'm going to be talking about the things I like and the things I don't like. So yeah, let's get right into the video. I'm going to start by saying that in the eastern part of Nigeria, there are 5 states. There is Abia State, where I'm from. There is Imo State, Enugu State, Anambra State, and Ebonyi State. So these 5 states make up the eastern region in Nigeria. And for the past few years, I have visited Anambra State, I think twice. I have visited Imo State. In fact, I've visited every state in the eastern part of Nigeria. So I'm going to start by telling you the things that I like about living in the eastern part of Nigeria. First and foremost, the people are very welcoming. So when I first moved to Enugu for school, one of the things I was bothered about was having to make new friends and not being able to fit into this new community. So it was one of the things that really bothered me. I was like, oh my god, how am I going to cope? Language barrier and the rest. But then when I moved down to the east, I actually realized that, oh, these people are actually quite welcoming. I didn't really feel out of place like that. I felt like I was finally in the midst of my own people. I mean, there was nobody calling me Omoibo. There was nobody mispronouncing my name or anything like that. So yes, that felt like very refreshing. I felt like I was amongst my own tribe, literally, like my own people. Another thing I love about eastern Nigeria is the food. Hey, oh my god. This is not to say that I did not grow up eating my native food. I grew up eating native Igbo foods, but then it just felt like the ones prepared from raw materials, did I just say raw materials? But then the ones prepared from ingredients gotten directly in the east, it just feels like the food tastes differently. If you stay in Port Harcourt, you know about the black soot and everything. I feel like it's gradually affecting the soil, the water. So most times, like, the meals are, yes, I mean, if you're a good cook, you can slay your food anytime, any day. But then when I moved down to the east, it was just like, wow, this is what I have been missing. I don't know if the vegetables are fresher. Technically, I think that's what it is. The ingredients are fresher. So yes, I loved the fact that the food was very rich. The food felt very natural, very organic, and just all around more nutritious than what I had been eating all my life, okay? So my next point is the environment felt better. Just like what I was saying about the food being very organic and very natural, that's the same way the air just feels in the east. And I'm talking about Enugu State now. People in Lagos, people in the big cities, no, you people are suffering. I just feel like once in a while, just come back home. Now I can understand why the typical Igbo man, once it's Christmas like this, you carry your bag and just go back home. Like, I felt like for the past over how many years of my life, I've been breathing in rubbish, adulterated oxygen. And then there are trees. Oh my god. For someone who has lived most of her life in Lagos, when I moved to Enugu State in Nsukka, I don't think I've ever seen that many trees in one place at a time. Like, I'm not talking about like a garden setting or whatever. I'm talking about normal living environments. Like, you see people's houses and you see trees around. I don't think I had ever seen anything like that. Another thing I also really liked was that people actually take to gardening. Like, people actually grow their food in their backyards. So, but coming here and seeing a lot of people actually take to gardening, actually growing their own food, like, you would see people want to prepare a pot of soup and they'll just go to their backyard. They will get enough ugu to prepare their pot of soup. These people are the ones enjoying, those people are the ones enjoying nature, basically. Okay, all right. So another thing I love about being in the East is that food is quite affordable. So in the East, I mean, the kind of food you will get for 2,000 naira, that is if you're going to a restaurant to buy food, okay, that's a basic restaurant. I'm not talking about going to fine dining or anything. I'm talking about your regular, normal, I won't say mama put, but like high budget mama put. The kind of food you will get for 2,000 naira, I bet you will not get that kind of food for that kind of quality for 2,000 naira in Lagos or in other cities. So that was one thing that I was really grateful for, especially as a student. I'm like, thank you, Father Lord Jesus, that the times when I can't cook, I can buy food and it will not tear my pocket. Another thing I really like about the food that you get in restaurants is that it almost tastes like home cooking. So I don't know what it is, but like, now I understand when people say fast foods, but then when you buy food in the East, like the restaurants you have in the East, it almost feels like it's food that was made from your mother's kitchen, like homemade meals basically. So now to my next point, another thing I so much love about being in the East is that everyone has a knack for business. My people are businessmen and women. Like, I don't think I have ever like been in a space where I've seen so many people just be so business oriented and money oriented like I have seen when I came to the East. Now, I know Lagos is hustle city, I know that, but then all the time I spent in Lagos, unless maybe it's just what I was exposed to, but the times I spent in Lagos, most of like my life ideas or most of my long-term goals and plans were how to finish school, find myself in a good establishment, you know, build my career, just basically enter into the professional world. Not necessarily like my own business. Like, by my own business, I mean entrepreneurship, right? It was not something I ever like thought about or even envisaged, right? But then coming down to the East, everyone is doing business, so everyone is just buying and selling all sorts of things. Low key, growing up in Lagos, I remember very well in primary school then, when our teachers would ask us, what's your parents' occupation and the rest, I know that the people in my class that used to say, my mommy is a businesswoman, my dad is a businessman, we used to see it then as businesswoman, a woman in the market that probably sells pepper and salt, and businessman, maybe your dad is in Balogun market selling clothes. And that's not to say that that is wrong, okay, but then that was just the mindset I had about business when I was younger. But then moving to the East and then seeing what men like Innocent, Kosh Charis, like these men, Obi Kubana, seeing what these men had achieved, I was just like, so this is the actual business now. Now it makes sense. Being in the East just exposed me to like what business is and how you can actually create an empire from doing business, okay? Another thing that being in the eastern parts of Nigeria made me fall in love with is Igbo music. This one, I think I would say my parents did me a disservice by not making me grow up listening to Igbo music. All the Teresa Honora, all the Osondu Owendu, oh Jesus goodness, all the Osondu hey, okay, scratch that. But basically all the very wonderful Igbo music, and I don't mean the flavors and the finos, I mean those ones are very, very good. The flavors, the finos, the Zoros and the rest, yes, I grew up listening to those ones. I mean the ancient, the Osondu Owendis, the Teresa Honoras, the Oliver the Cokes and the rest. When I moved to the East and I started getting into this music, I said, where have I been? Like, where have I been? No. Like, I always say this, all my friends know I say this, I would have been so jealous if I was not born Igbo, okay? No offense, no shade to other tribes, but I would have been so jealous if I was not born an Igbo woman. Alright, so now let's get to the things that I do not like about living in the eastern part of Nigeria. I know I already said that the people are welcoming, but ironically at the same time, they are not. I know this sounds weird, but let me break it down. So moving to the east, and for someone that does not speak a language, there are some times where I just feel left out. When you find yourself in the wrong crowd, or like among some people that are so, no offense, but if I do say so myself, are quite primitive, almost feels like they have a thing against the Igbos that grew up in the city or grew up abroad or something. It almost feels like they have a beef with you. So they see you like, sometimes they'll even tell you, oh, in the Lagos, those Lagos people. It's almost like they are low-key attacking you or trying to make you feel somehow because you do not know how to speak your native language. When I moved to the east, I met this set of people. Actually, quite a good number of them will make you feel very, very somehow because you can't speak your language. Like for me, I can understand Igbo language to a certain extent, but then I cannot properly speak the language. So sometimes we're having a conversation, you say something in Igbo, I reply back to you in English, and you just see some of them start laughing. Just feel like it's unfair because most of us genuinely want to learn. Like personally, I genuinely want to learn. I genuinely want to get better in speaking my language, but then I just don't meet a lot of people that are willing to help me, or at least not laugh at me while I try. Okay, they're always the ones that will shade you for the way you pronounce your words, and I'm just like, I'm trying, guy, like I'm trying. Everybody thinks that everybody can speak Igbo, or especially the ones that just go directly to speaking their dialect, and you're trying to communicate to me in Igbo, and then you just switch to Nsukka. Hey, Ogini now. Like, Ogini, not everyone understands your dialect. Like, I am still here struggling with Central Igbo. Like, I'm trying. I'm trying here. Like, don't do that.
I'm like, nah, you don't do that. That's not how we roll in this Lagos.
Like, please take it easy on us, okay? Like small, we will learn, okay? Another thing that I won't say I don't like, but I found it as a culture shock living here, is that as a woman, once you hit 20, in fact, what's 20? 19 self. Once you hit 19, you are a ripe mango that is ready to be plucked. And I was just like, Asasao, what are you talking about? I'm lost. Fill me in. What's going on here? Like, I could not understand it. That's one of the things that till now I'm just still trying to wrap my head around it. Like, so yeah, I feel like the girls here are actually low-key under pressure to get married. Like once you clock 20, 21, 22, 23. In fact, I feel like for a regular like Igbo family, 26 self, you don't delay to. You don't delay. You need to go and marry. Okay? So that's one of the things that I find quite uncomfortable about living in the East. Another thing still on this marriage issue is that you cannot wear rings in peace. This one is paining my soul because I like to wear rings, but then when I moved to the East, I realized that, okay, you can't just wear rings without somebody misinterpreting the ring. Like this one in this video, I'm sure that if I wear it out, someone will ask me, Nne, are you engaged? I mean, look at this ring. Is someone going to get engaged with this? Like, is someone going to actually engage someone's daughter with this? Even when I make a conscious effort to look for like fashion rings, like things that don't have stones on it, you still see people asking you, Nne, are you married? I have met someone that actually once told me, then remove it. Remove it so you will not block your husband. But I was wearing the ring here. Like, why is he going to think I'm taking from? I don't know, but that's a culture shock that I got from moving to the East. Another culture shock I got is that everyone thinks that girls are supposed to be a certain way. Everyone just expects that you're a girl, you have to be a certain way, you have to be very domesticated, you have to do things a certain way, and I just don't like it. Okay, I don't like it. The next thing that I don't like about this one, I think I would say I don't like about being in Enugu. Let me not say in the East because I've been to Anambra and I did not really experience this one. So the next thing I don't like about being in Enugu State is people can be slow. Oh Lord, Jesus. This is one thing that I am still begging the Holy Spirit to help me with. I feel like this thing, this particular point, I have a love-hate relationship with it, because I'm like, I mean, it's a good thing because these people are used to soft life, so no unnecessary high BP, no, like, why are you rushing? Why are you taking life so hard? But at the same time, I'm like, if you're like this, then you are probably still sluggish with other things too. And I'm just like, can you just be on the move? Time is important, my dear. Another culture shock I got from living in the East is that for someone that grew up in Lagos and lives in Port Harcourt, I always thought that, see, when you are in the East, we are all one, like all Igbo is all of us now. Now we, you understand? But then moving to the East, I now realized that there is the segregation of Ebonyi people, there is the Nsukka versus Anambra politics that happens in school. There is the, do you get? I'm just like, I thought it was one Igbo nation. I thought it was us against the world. What's happening? You hear things like, it's from Nsukka, it's from Anambra. And I was like, I thought we were one happy family. And then, this one, how will I forget? Another thing that also really shocked me about, I think this one too, I'll streamline this one to being in Enugu, was that, you see this juju thing, this jazz thing, they know they hide them more. Maybe someone's property gets stolen, and then people actually go type like a warning to the thief, and you see things like, I give you 7 days. If you don't bring back my this, you will run mad. I will take your name to so and so shrine. I'm like, and it's quite normal. Do you get, like, people don't, it's normal. That one I don't understand it. And then everyone in the East is Catholic. In fact, it's just the same way they assume you can speak the language. That's the same way they assume you're Catholic. That's not to say I have anything against the Catholic Church. I don't have anything against any church denomination. As long as you're preaching the gospel of Christ, you love Jesus, you have a relationship with him, by all means, I don't have wahala with that one. But then my own is just that everyone here is Catholic. This is not really a problem, to be fair. It's not really a problem, but I'm just pointing out something that I have noticed. All in all, I love being in the eastern part of Nigeria. I love being around my people. It has been a very great experience. So did you just move to the eastern part of Nigeria? Let me know what culture shocks did it for you. What are the few things that you've noticed about Igbo people that you don't quite understand or that you love about being in the eastern part of Nigeria? Please share in the comment section down below. I would love to read your comments. And of course, if you enjoyed watching today's video, please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, subscribe if you're yet to subscribe, and of course turn on your post notification bell button so that you'll be notified when next I post a new video. Bye guys.